Hey, how are you doing? I hope you're well. A lot has happened since my last video. Namely, I made a new friend and they've been teaching me a lot about my camera and lighting and all sorts of things. I live in a pretty dark flat in Wellington and buying more lights isn't really an option right now, but I'm moving. I'm moving in about a month, so I'm hoping in the new place I have better control over that sort of thing. I don't know, these are things that I constantly worry about and now you need to know about them for some reason. Anyway, what are we doing? What's going on? Well, a couple of years ago, I was gifted a Dr. Broadboards collectible called Gimbal. And from the moment I heard these sweet, sweet sounds of Rhys Darby voicing this character, I knew that this little guy was destined for greater things. So it was decided that Gimbal needed to become a Killa can. And I spent a lot of time thinking about what faction of orcs to choose, what paint scheme I would go with. I even took to asking my followers on Instagram for some inspiration, until it became obvious that there was only one clear choice. Why am I like this? There's a few parts that really identify Gimbal as the spunky steampunk hunk that he is. And so I spent some time prepping the model by unceremoniously snipping off all those unique features. And through all of this, a lot of sanding, like ridiculous amounts of sanding. Eventually, it was time to perform some surgery on my friend's little head. Avert your eyes, Dr. G fans. Alright, like everyone else in this hobby, I have a problem. I love collecting bits. To the point where I don't really have a bits box, but more like a bits filing cabinet. I am known as the dumpster goblin at work, and I love it. I didn't pay for a single piece going into this little mech because I just say yes to everything. And because of that, it's unlikely you'll be able to recreate this exact model. So here's some general tips I've learned from my many mistakes. Setting yourself a time limit doesn't sound like fun, but it is a necessary evil. If you don't, the model will never be finished, and you'll keep waiting for more new bits to keep changing it up. Always do a dry fit before you commit to any glue. You can always go back and chop the pieces apart, but a little patience goes a long way. You'll know if it's right or not when you see it. And finally, there are no rules. Why are you listening to me, a stranger on the internet? It's your model, do whatever you want. I'm not your dad. But if I were, I'd ask you to like, share, and subscribe. After spending some time figuring out the weapons and the pose for my little fool, I moved on to creating the orc symbol for the front of the Killa can. I really like the idea that when you pop the hood on this fresh ride, the teeth lock back into place. From there, I had a new shipment of freshly delivered bits and remembered that this guy probably needs some legs. My general idea for this group of greenskins is that somehow in the grim dark future, they saw a traveling circus and decided, yep, we're gonna be that. And so now when they go into WA, they do so as clowns, acrobats, and other carnies. And like I mentioned before, it's my model and you can't stop me. Eventually I can move on to making some riveted plates for the body using the old pushpin technique from Bill Making Stuff and adding some even larger rivets using craft store beads. From there, I just spent some more time planning the pose for the limbs, popping off all the hard work I put into it so far, and doing a really bad job of filming myself of adding the plates. So here's a fun shot of me cleaning my desk as penance for my crimes. Once I had the model primed and highlighted, I could begin the fun work of painting up my new Juggalo comrade. I've gone for a pretty classic spread with orange hair, a bright red nose and eyebrows, yellow as my accent color, and blue diamonds over the eyes. I wasn't too worried about how good the paint looks, since these are orcs after all, and while I'm painting up the rest of this model, I just wanted to say thank you all so much for the outpouring of love and support after Monster Bash. I do a little happy dance every time I get a new subscriber, and needless to say, my feet hurt. I still can't believe how quickly we passed 3K, and I'm honestly humbled by it. I make videos of things that I like, and I'd be lying if I said it didn't excite me to know that there's people who also enjoy the same stuff. I still have a lot left that I want to make and improve upon, and so I'd love to have you along for this weird ride. Once the body of my jester was painted up, I can move on to building, painting, and flocking a quick and dirty orc base. Alright, I know this was a bit of a silly project, but I love my new clown boy, who has since been dubbed Grumble, in honor of his former name. I want to keep playing around with this idea in the future, maybe with some other toys, but definitely at least one actual GW model eventually. Like I mentioned before, I'm really grateful for all the support lately, and if there's something you'd like to see on the channel, please let me know in the comments. I read every single one of them. As always, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Actually, you know what? I hope you're having a great week, and I hope you make something really cool as well. I'll see you soon. Bye!